We are almost done. So let's draw our corner text upside down, and then we'll do our draw face down, and we'll have our drawing piece of this demo done, and we'll be ready for animation. So off to Xcode here, into our Rook card view. Okay, we have this complicated draw corner text that we waved our hands at a little bit. You'll have to go compare this to the dimensions in that PDF and verify for yourself that this is what you want. But coming down to it here, at this point, we're drawing our rank text and our suit text at the given location. Now, it's simpler than you think to draw the upside down stuff. We're going to write ourselves another helper. And what this helper is going to do is it's going to push the context, but it's also going to rotate the context upside down. So I'm going to write a new method, private func, push context, and rotate upside down. And now it's going to operate like, well, actually we don't need to return a CG context from this one. This is why we return CG context from push context in the first place. What we're going to do, we're going to start by saying let context equal push context. Okay? Now, we want to do two things. We want to translate the context and we want to rotate it. So context dot, and there's a translate by x and a y. What do we want to translate by? The bound's width and the bound's height. What this is doing is it's saying the origin, which was in the upper left, moves to the lower right. And now the other thing we want to do is rotate. Context.rotate by, and now how do we want to rotate it? Well, we want to rotate it 180 degrees. Unfortunately, this is not measured in degrees. Rotate is measured in an angle that is in radians. Okay, so 2 pi is one circle, so pi is half of a circle. So if I go to the double type, I look for a method or a member called pi, and yes, that's what I want, but I need that as a CG float, so let's cast it. Okay, so there we go. We've got we're pushing the context. We're translating the origin down to the lower right, rotating it 180 degrees. And now, if I call that in my draw corner text, right up here, I can say push context and rotate upside down. And then I'll want to do a pop context when I'm all done. But now I just repeat that rank text.draw at origin. And my suit text.draw at suit origin. And now when I go look at my storyboard, and let's set this to red, and let's make it the red 9. Well, anyway, you see it there. It's doing what we want. Translating and rotating, perfect. Okay? Now for the Rook card, we also need to do that. So a similar thing here, push context and rotate upside down, pop when we're done. And we're basically going to say, hey, Rook image, would you please draw in the Rook rect, and suit text, would you please draw at the suit origin? Okay. And now if I run this one, well, first change the storyboard to make it the Rook card again. And we will see the Rook card. Okay, so there it is. There's our nifty little Rook card. The last thing we need to do is the face down card. So basically draw the back of the card. So of all the methods that we've entered in here, we've never come back and done draw face down. This one's pretty easy. We just need a UI image. And so we'll go to UI image named, and so card.backImageName. And now, if we get something back, let's just draw it. Where are we going to draw it? In a rectangle that's defined by the bounds. Because we've preserved an aspect ratio of 7:10, this ought to be safe even if it modifies the bits a little bit. I need to not just run, I need to change this guy to be face up is off. And now when we run this, It'll come up face down, and there's what the back of the card looks like. Okay? So, in the next video, we'll begin with the animation portion of this project.